she stumbles through the fields. She can't see, though she tries. Should've worn her pennant. Now she stumbles. Now she cries. Her skin's red and it burns, and the fields go on for miles. Life sucks you dry. She wonders why. Wonders why.
hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why do you think that is?
So the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake, all that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
Jeffrey Epstein was your neighbour. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about him. East 71st Street. He was your neighbour for 10 years. How well did you know him?
All right, so we are in number 11, and he lives in number 9.
Right.
So we renovate, we buy our house, and our house is pigeons and mice.
Right.
Okay, it was derelict.
Right.
So we rebuild our house. We move in 2005. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 08, I think, or something.
Right. Right.
So knock on the door. His assistant on like a Saturday says, "Mr. Epstein, your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee." So my wife and I go next door. We walk 7 steps,
Yes.
right, to the next house for coffee. We share a wall.
Right.
Right. So it's in New York City. So he invites us in. We have coffee in this, and he says, "Do you want a tour?" We say, "Great."
Interesting.
He's got a really big house.
Every room you went into?
He's got, well, I'll tell you. So his house is like super big, really wide. And so he gives me a tour in the living room, big living room. And then across from it is double doors. I assume it's the dining room.
Yeah.
And he opens the door, and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, "Massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage?" And he says, "Every day." And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, "And the right kind of massage."
Ooh.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, "I'm sorry, we have to go." And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was never in the room with him socially. for business or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross. And so I look back at it as a gift.
Yes.
He gave me a gift
Yes.
of avoid. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
So
that's
he
my
was-
story. A one and absolutely done.
Why did the Epstein files show you coordinating a meeting and planning a visit with Jeffrey Epstein on his private island in December 2012?
Thank you for the question. I'm glad to be here to make it clear that I met Jeffrey Epstein when I moved to a house next door to him in New York, right? And I met him then. Over the next 14 years, I met him 2 other times that I can recall, 2 times. And that is none for 6 years. So 6 years later, I met him. And then a year and a half after that, I met him and never again. Probably the total, and you've seen all of these documents, of these millions and millions of documents, there may be 10 emails connecting me with him, probably about 10 emails connecting me with him over a 14-year period. I did not have any relationship with him. I barely had anything to do with that person, okay?
Secretary Lutnick, I think you understand the root of concern here. It's the way you described very emphatically your first encounter with him in his apartment, said you were disgusted, would never have any contact with him again. Did you in fact make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife, all together. We were on family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was anything untoward about that in 2012, I don't recall why we did it, but
Mr. Secretary, again, as I said, there's not an indication that you yourself engaged in any wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein. It's the fact that you believe that you misled the country and the Congress based on your earlier statements, suggesting that you cut off all contact when in fact you had not. When you visited the private island, did you see anything inappropriate during that visit?
the only thing I saw with my wife and my children and the other couple and their children was staff who worked for Mr. Epstein on that island.
And you realize that, this visit took place after he'd been convicted, right? I mean, you made a very big point of saying that you sensed that this was a bad person in 2005. And then, of course, in 2008, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution of a minor. And yet you went and had this trip and other interactions. Did you have a dinner in Epstein's New York City home in 2011?
No.
So the information that suggests that there was a dinner with Woody Allen and Woody Allen's spouse at the Epstein residence, that's there's nothing to that. Is that right?
I actually don't know what you're referring to. There was, look, I looked through the millions of documents for my name, just like everybody else. And what I found was there was a document that says that I had a meeting with him on in May, I think, for an hour at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Not dinner or otherwise, for an hour at 5 o'clock.
All right. There's also a reference to the fact that Epstein had expressed an interest in meeting your nanny. Do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein ever met with your nanny?
No, I saw that. I had no idea what that was about. It had nothing to do with me.
No
as far as
interaction
I
at
know.
all with him on there?
No. as far as I know now.
Would you, Mr. Secretary, be willing to ensure that the file is complete to share with this committee and the Congress your own records, any records you have that relate to Jeffrey Epstein?
I will surely talk about that. I hadn't thought about that. I have nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing.
Right. So, I mean, that's an incredible story that you could pick up that he was a pervert.
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. And like, he's gross. The guy's gross. This was not, the deep nuance of Howard Lutnick. This guy's gross.
Right. So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
No, they participated.
right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever. Blackmailed people. That's how he had money.
So what happened to those videos? Why is there now such a dearth of information when, Donald Trump's people are running the FBI and the DOJ?
I assume way back when, they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence, which allowed him to have visits and be out of jail. I mean, he's a serial sex offender. How could he get 18 months and be able to go to his office during the day and have visitors and stuff? It must have been a trade. So my assumption, I have no knowledge, but my assumption is there was a trade for the videos because there were people on those videos.
And have you talked to Donald Trump about this and shared your theory?
No, I mean, he knows the story.
Right.
But
you-
my story, that, I was one and done with the guy. He knows that story, but... That's it.
He would have been interested in that story.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a story. It's just a one and done. That guy. Ugh.
And did Trump feel the same way about him?
I don't speak to him about these kind of... These are just distractions.
Right.
The thing about the president is I'm doing the most important thing that I see. And then right after we do that, he does 10 other things that are as, if not more important, that are not my thing.
Right.
And you're like, wow. And he is great at it. And sometimes he lets me stay. So he lets me stay for the Joint Chiefs of Staff coming in.
Right.
This is the coolest thing ever.
You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. All they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million. And Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order. Secretary Lutnick today was testifying on the Hill. He said that he had visited Epstein's Island in 2012 with his wife and children, and that's after he said that he had cut ties with Epstein. And Justice Department documents show that he was in contact with Epstein through 2018 over messages. So does the White House stand behind Secretary Lutnick right now, or given what he has said today, has there been any shift in how the White House is viewing Secretary Lutnick's performance?
No, Secretary Lutnick remains a very important member of President Trump's team, and the president fully supports the secretary.
A little trouble there. Welcome to Through a Glass Darkly Radio. You're listening to us on United Public Radio. The intro song, the distant intro song, was Mark of the Doomslayer by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. All right, I'm going to try to modulate it tonight, but it's going to be hard. We're not voting our way out of this. It's become pretty clear that our entire civilization or system is a fabrication. It's not real. It's also become obvious that we are being led by vain men with soft hands. The men who have carried the shoulders or have carried the empire on their shoulders with rifles and rucksacks are not in power. It's wealthy oligarchs with soft hands. People who've never shed blood, people who've never tilled the soil, people who've never killed in anger. Weak men, corrupt men, evil men. There's no voting our way out of this. But there are things that we can do that this system denies exist, that this system laughs and mocks, but that this system secretly feeds and is devoured by. Say your prayers to whatever God you worship for vengeance. Make these men pay. On this very channel, back in January, we manifested three things, or we attempted to manifest three things. The first thing that we manifested was justice, and justice is coming. We are in the midst of what we would call the apocalypse. Not the apocalypse that the book of Revelation speaks of, but we are in a period of a great unveiling, where all is exposed and everything that slithers and persists beneath the rot in the edifice of the system. We are in the final days, in the twilight of the Republic, and on the verge of the corruption of empire. The fact that creatures like Lutnick, number one, were even put in their position in the first place, knowing that what the powers that be know, it's absolutely unconscionable that thing would be put into power. It's absolutely unacceptable that creature would be in the same room as the Joint Chiefs of Staff, steering policy, having a say in how the business of empire proceeds. These creatures that hide behind the rough men that defend the empire. Creatures that stab and lie to your face because they think you're stupid. corrupt creatures that need to be exposed and need to leave. Pray that they experience justice in the most perverse and dark ways possible. Pray that they are destroyed. Pray that their reputations are sullied beyond repair. Pray that they suffer for the evil that they've committed, for participating in a system that's two-tiered and only protects those with money and power, but destroys those with integrity and conscience. We need to have a revolution, but a revolution that just does not participate in this dark system of slavery. For a 3% tax, the colonists threw tea in the water and rebelled against the system. Yet many of us pay over half of our income in taxes. And what do we get? We get corruption in Somali daycares. We get Medicare fraud from Armenians in Los Angeles. And there's never, ever any accountability. Only for the small man and woman is there accountability. You miss a payment to the IRS and you are crushed. You are annihilated. But you fly to an island and kidnap children and abuse them, and all is forgiven. I want no part in the system anymore, and neither should you. The fact that that demon is still in his office as Commerce Secretary is utterly unacceptable. We ought to have, in my heart, I have compassion and rage. And I'm all out of compassion right now. This is the great unveiling. This is only the beginning. And we're not here to move on. We don't give a fuck that the Dow is at 50,000. Read the room, Pam Bondi. Read the room, Kash Patel. Read the room, President Richie Rich Trump. And by the way, this is not a anti-Republican thing. I will give the Trump administration, at least they exposed it. But these are the crimes of at least the past 4 administrations, and probably many more. And there are also probably demonic creatures like Epstein that have not been exposed. This is the global elite. In his interview with Bannon, he freely admitted he was part of the Trilateral Commission. In the emails, he freely admitted that he served the Rothschilds. The system that we see is not the system that we get. It's all a fantasy. It's all a Potemkin village. It's now time that we start to pray for a different world. And that world should be one where everyone in power right now is gone. Is absolutely gone. And we start from scratch. Those in power now are there by virtue of compromise. They do what they're told because they're the weakest among us who crave for power. But for every one elite that's there are 100 in the American population that are ready and willing to take their place. We need to completely reset the deck. Now, I'm going to be careful with my words because I don't condone violence, but I do condone resistance. Our system is fundamentally evil. We have no business waging war against countries like Iran or Russia or leaving the borders wide open. to lower wages so that the very elites that are coordinating this godless system can move along with their plans. The fact that people telling you to take vaccines, like Bill Gates, are banging Russian hookers and trying to poison their wife with antibiotics that they don't know about should be an indicator. Everyone in the system is compromised. Everyone. Some in small ways, some in great ways. But to think we have a democracy or that voting matters is an illusion. But what can you do as an individual? Well, there's 350 million of us. So there's certainly things we can do. Number one, insist that these people, these creatures, are thrown out of power. Because as history says, the road to Thermidor was paved with human heads. For folks who don't know what Thermidor was, back in the French Revolution, there was a figure, his name was Maximilien Robespierre. He created something called the Commission on Public Safety. And so it began in July, renamed Thermidor by the Committee on Public Safety. The beheadings began with the guillotines. I'm not calling for that, but that's all I can think about right now. Blood, blood, blood. America has always been a great country. If we could only keep it. From the men with soft hands who currently control it, with the money that they get by printing it, the Federal Reserve, and making you poor through inflating currency. Take care of your families, do the right thing, but demand and insist that we see results, because we are not moving on. Democrat or Republican, two wings of the same bird. It does not matter. Do not get caught up in all this nonsense. The Democrats that are attacking the current Trump administration, let this issue lie on their watch. And the Republicans and Democrats before them and the ones before them. Demand justice and hold your ground and do not move until you achieve it. May God help us in the struggle, but we are in the middle of the fourth turning now. And if things don't change, instability will increase. And if, heaven forbid, they try to distract you with a war, don't support it. You see some atrocity that Iran commits or Russia, don't believe it. It's going to be a false flag. But they will try to distract you. They will try to ruin you. They will try to move your gaze away from the slimy and polluted corruption that they've sown for at least the past 50 years. They're going to tell you about disclosure. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do this. We're going to send you a check. We're going to do that. All the while, the gluttons are slurping from the trough because they think you're stupid. Enough. Enough of this horse shit. We're done. We're not fighting for your bullshit empire anymore. Those of us who've shouldered the burden of empire are tired, and we don't have soft hands because we have rough hands because we are rough men. We're the men who wanted to be left alone. But you kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. At some point, you're going to get what you deserve. This is the end. And we either have a new day or we'll have a reckoning. We demand that this administration remove people who should not have been in those offices in the first place. Because they are self-serving, they're liars, and they have no business participating in the business of empire. Because they've never sacrificed for the business of empire. All right, I could keep going on, but I'm literally not reading a speech or anything. I'm making this up as I go along. I am trying not to lose my temper, but I am so goddamn angry at these people. And people is generous. All right, let's see how we're doing on the comments. I have literally gotten no feedback, so you either think I'm crazy or God knows what. Oh, Harry, thank you, brother. I have to go further back because that was starred, but I didn't see what the comments are. Good Lord, how many comments are there? There we go. All right, we got yes. How is Patel dark? He's a liar. I mean, that's all you need to know. Hey, greetings, mermaid. Yeah, by the way, thank you, Carl Garrison. You saved my bacon. Because I was concerned that there was no sound. So thank you for heads up. And thank you, mermaid, for adding to that. Correct, the Ouroboros. If the troop causes the system to collapse, it should collapse. 150%. Uh-oh. Well, I don't think YouTube threw the curveball. I threw the curveball because I didn't. All right. Yeah, Trump doesn't get it. No, Trump. No, he's a narcissist. He doesn't get it. Yep. Tim Beck, millstones for the deserving. Burn the witches. Not literally, YouTube. Not literally. Thanks to Trump, we've all been screwed, blued, and tattooed. There's no way out, but we're not going to talk about that because I don't want to get thrown off. But it's not just Trump, though. It's the entire elite class. He's just a creature of it. I mean, if Kamala Harris was president, we'd be at war with Russia by now. So this is not a political thing. Pigeons and mice is what he said. Who knows? Maybe it means the same thing as jerky or pizza or hot dog. Yeah, I can't control I mean, it's too late for me to control the music volume, at least on that video. So Roger Claiborne said, why do multi-generational super wealthy families almost always come to believe that they are a different species to the rest of us and plot to eliminate us or possibly even eat us? Because maybe they are a different species. They're certainly behaving like it. Hey, Miss Tammy, good to see you. Yeah, he just happened to miss going to work 9/11 while his entire firm was destroyed. I wonder if that was a coincidence. What a crazy coincidence. He just happens to work very closely with Trilateral Commission member Jeffrey Epstein. I wonder if there's a coincidence there. Lutnick's lies. That's right. So Mermaid Moxie, Esau's line, Canaanites, Khazarians, slithering through society to this very day. Filthy demons, Spiritual Ascension says. I believe gave me a great grift. If you believe in Lugnut. Just some bell worshipping in the temple, nothing to see here. Now I know this darkish is worldwide, but how are the Americans dealing with the fact that the darkness is running rampant in their government? Well, maybe we just stop paying taxes. The problem is everybody has to do it all at once or it wouldn't have an effect. Not sure the normies are even dealing with it at all. No, I don't think they get it. Yeah, these cats are so evil, Satan may end up disavowing them. This is particularly bad, Roger, but yes, it does run rampant in all governments. But you know what? If you look at all the other governments, Mandelson had to step down in the UK. There was a Norwegian politician that had to step down. Even in Saudi Arabia, they stepped down, but not in the United States. Yeah, it is a disturbing laugh. That's why I keep showing it. Actually, it's all about destroying Christianity, about the religion that sees us as the new Rome and must pay for Rome's crimes against them. That religion controls the U.S. Well, he certainly looks like something, but I'm not going to say. Not like throwing the others under the bus to try and cover his own pathological lying. I'm sure he is behind closed doors. Yeah, thank you, Fleabettis. People will sit back and say Trump is making a change for the better. Well, to be fair, he's the only president who unloaded the files, so I'll give him that. Hey, Jalal, good to see you. Hi, Spiritual Ascension. As you'll notice, I have no AI tonight. I didn't use any AI for anything. So, all right, so Roger Claiborne is saying religious billionaire fanatics with a plan and who are willing to spend billions to see it carried out will succeed when everyone else stands for nothing. I don't think MAGA's scared. I think they're pretty fucking angry. And they should be. Yeah, ball is booming. Uh-oh. What's the WTF? Our politicians worship dollars and are mercenaries. Yes, they are. But for those who thought Bob Burr was the worst in history, along comes Bondage Bondi. Yeah, of course there's a show tonight. I did a lot of the work in advance because I needed to get that out. It helped me channel my rage. I've been telling you all, ball is Allah. Maybe. Shabbat, Tikkum, Talplot Unit, 2050 by network. The world is an industry, Kubrick. Fortunately, our enemies pay better than we can. Jalal, the wicked and corrupt system they invented and force everyone to participate. Yeah, it's slaves. We're all slaves. Like image in the business world before last year was amazing. Hey, good morning, Sirius. Hey, Mermaid Moxie. Or let them become jerky, maybe. I'm just kidding. Didn't say that. Anybody have jerky that you have to put in a freezer? Because Epstein does. And why did he order 655-gallon drums the day that he was indicted of sulfuric acid? Maybe it's the reverse osmosis water. Maybe, but it's kind of timing's weird. Okay, so Mary Brenda McCloskey is saying in 2017, White House insider told Times of Israel reporter Lubitsch David Elias Goldberg, Donald Trump converted to Judaism and joined the Chabad Lubavitch Synagogue in New York. Oh boy. The ball is Satan's son. Having lost any ability to respect and manifest the immaculate concept, all they can do is counterfeit, image and likeness, plagiarize, pontificate, psyops, and propagandize. Yahweh in the collective is tied to Enki, who is Baal's brother. That's what Spiritual Ascension said. All right. That's the first feedback I've gotten so far. So hopefully the impromptu speech was effective. Here are the epitome of dark mimic. Okay, the only way to get this country back on track is electing someone like going on too, but they didn't release it. Clinton was going there. That has to be a sarcastic comment because that's hilarious. They're not really worried about. No, they're not. They're just doing this out in the open. Joshua Aloha. They're just doing this out in the open. I don't think we've ever had a good president. Those two. I mean, Obama droned more human beings than any other president did. Those two presidents were deeply evil. Like, so was Bush. So was Bush first. Are all deeply evil people. All right. Thank you, Gray Al. I appreciate that comment. So Fleabittis, in both politics and stage management, the first rule of magic always holds true. What you see is never that which is actually being done. Yes, that is almost certainly true. So Roger Claiborne said they have autonomous drones that can deliver nerve gas in the middle of the night. They likely want us to rebel so they can use it. Yeah, that's probably part of it. And I've been looking into the email, and what I see are a bunch of hucksters. No, now we watch Babylon 2.0 crumble. Justice will not take place in this realm, but it will take place. I don't really. I'm not confident it ever will. I think we live in a dark place. Spiritual ascension. Yeah, Mermaid Moxie says, "Yup, spiritual ascension. We were born for these times." Angela Cullum says, "I unite my energy in these words. So be it. May they get everything they deserve, I say, the wretched, vile fiends. When society collapses, so do they even think they are a breakaway? They are fools." Yep, Roger. Yeah, we get to watch. Okay, so Maggie Smith says, "I worked in psych for years. We had SRA victims. That means satanic ritual abuse. I'm assuming. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it means. They were not believed. The abuse is more horrific than you could imagine. All I could do was believe them. I'm glad to see they are being believed." Thank you, Maggie, for sharing that. Fatima Majama saying, "These are parasite beings. They dig tunnels and eat human flesh." Purge the PDFs. Correct. Thank you, Spiritual Ascension. Hey, Lucy. Thank you, Roger. Roger just says he agrees. Integrity can why, Virgo Queen 202 is saying. The new interview with Maxwell is a different person. The nose is different. Oh, maybe she had a nose job. You never know. Fast Mama Jama. Jalal Jalal says, "We get to watch the perverse sit down at the public money feeding through trough and gorge. Or gouge. Exactly. 100%, Angela says. I wish I were a wolf. Teeth and fangs. Thank you, Spiritual Ascension. I guess this is when I was starting to get, I don't know, almost 50 years at least. Correct. We need nothing but our voices. Thank you, Spiritual Ascension. I'm glad to see it coming out. I've been telling people about this since the late 90s. Mermaid Moxie is saying. Integrity cannot be destroyed. That's right. And the truth will set everyone free. 50,000 Dow just means we are poor and our few dollars buy less. It's a bad sign the economy is lousy for the masses. Yeah. Yes, the CIA Hollywood stagecraft counterfeit doppelganger presentation highly developed, Jilly Jalal says. 100%, Sean. Mermaid saying. Truth cannot be usurped. That's correct, Virgo Queen. Putin, Bibi, Trump, Xi, all deep state. Yep, absolutely. That we all fight for the Creator. And seriously, pray for justice. Pray for justice. Pray that these people receive the absolute worst that is legal in our system. They will reset the deck, not us. Yeah. Gaze not into the abyss. Harry's there, he says. That little worm gate sat on Australian TV while he was visiting our demon prime minister and stated he had nothing to do with these egregious acts. Putrid little rat liar. I'm sure he is. The undocumented children can be easily trafficked and disposed of. Yep. And they're counting on it. Trump pushing these data centers is all you need to know to see whose side he's on. It's about controlling and monitoring our purchases and behavior. That's 100%. This digital currency system is coming, whether you like it or not. It's so that they can control people. They did not have DNA testing back in those days. These beings are spreading the seed. I think they're so special, starting their secret societies, total ego smack. Jalal Jalal. Yep. The only sides there are at this point is us and them. That's right. Like, don't get caught up in this Democrat, Republican illusion. Now it's up to the awakened ones, the people, to make America great again. AIPAC tracker got canceled today? Why? Oh, because they're all in on it. Yeah, there was a senator from Ohio that got a bunch of money from AIPAC, so he tried to hide the... I mean, what a piece of shit. I mean, really, what a fucking piece of shit. You know what? After I go through these comments, I'm going to hop over to Twitter and like show you some of these just rancid, just dark, disgusting, soulless beings these people are. They're trying very hard to politicize this. Yeah, it's not. I mean, notice when Pam Bondi said the 50,000 Dow comment, it was Jamie Raskin that was criticizing her, and she's like, "Well, I hear you're a great trader," because of course he is, because they're allowed to trade. It's legal for them to trade on non-public material, non-public information. It's not legal for you to do it. You'll go straight to jail if you do that. But they become millionaires by doing this stuff. Ernesto Che Guevara studied finance. He had asthma. Tim Beck. Thank you, Mermaid Moxie. Appreciate you. Thank you, Angela Colm. Appreciate you. Soylent Green. We're not there yet. Yeah, watch for the false flags. That's the next stage. It's going to be the politics of distraction, and it's coming. But like we're not moving on. Again, we are not fucking moving on. The dictators are the boldest form of deep state, but not the only one. Correct. The most effective deep state is when they convince the population that serving the state is in their best interest. They got me, right? I volunteered. I served, shouldered the burden of empire. And I regret doing that now. Yep, stay focused. That's right, Lucy. Stay focused, fellow humans. This has been going on way before Babylon, so thousands of years, spiritual ascension says. False gods die, Prometheus, etc., Tim Beck says. Angela Cullum says exactly right. Oh, Kid Rock. Kid Rock. Jerky, muffins, cream cheese, pizza, hot dogs, grape soda. Yeah, amazing. Yep, feeding frenzy, constant. Hundreds of years of blood sacrifice by soft hands. That's right. The men with soft hands. Maggie. We demand the entirety of the government to step the fuck down. Yep, I third that. I probably already said it, but the closer we get to the truth, the closer we get to total annihilation. That's fine. Let it happen. I don't want to serve in this sick, corrupt, filthy system. Spiritual Ascension says we are sovereign beings. We need nothing demons running our show. You must not have heard the good news that that's... Hey, they're graping kids, but that's okay. The Dow's up. The Dow's up. So, like, why do you gotta worry about that? Unfreaking believable. Just the tone deafness of these people. Thank you, Angela Cullum. I appreciate you. She says, thank you. Your words have power. Fleabittis is saying, no, you're not crazy. Actually, you're sane. And that's far scarier to the evil bastards. Carl Garrison is saying, you're only speaking common sense, bro. Yeah, I second that. Great attitude and assessment, Sean. Gray Al is saying. Oh, yeah, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Love is the answer. After you drive a stake in their heart. Anyway, I'm just speaking metaphors, and I don't encourage violence. But I can watch it. Anyway, I don't encourage violence. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Sean and family. God bless all. I'm surprised my wife hasn't kicked me in the nuts yet because I haven't said anything or done anything yet. All right, it's going down. Well, but I mean, we need to see resignations. That's the least they can do. Although, ideally, I would expect public executions. Legally, of course. But we'll never see that. Hey, missing time. What's the wow for? I hope it's good. Angela Cullum. Or Cullum. Lizard people. That's right, lizard people. Yeah, what arrogance Epstein said the Jewish soul is superior, made differently, blah, blah, blah. Did he say that? I just saw a bunch of things about the Goyim. But I didn't see anything about the Jewish soul, but I wouldn't be surprised if he said that. Bashar predicted World War III if Trump won before elections. Yeah, well, good luck fighting it. Because, people who served in the military aren't going to send their sons and daughters. And they'll actively, if there's a draft, fight back. You send Barron Trump. Why don't you put Barron Trump, give him a rucksack, a rifle, and some boots, and he can carry the fucking burden of empire. How about that? But no, that'll never happen. Okay, so Joshua Aloha is saying, something I notice about this whole debacle is they want us angry, they want us fearful. Distraction is the devil's subtle and powerful way to disrupt our focus on God. If our focus is elsewhere, he wins. Yeah, we just got to focus on justice. And, don't perpetuate violence. Don't just resist this corrupt system. Be a good neighbor. That's right, Tom Beck. Folks, discernment is key. Baba Vanga also predicted World War III, AI takeover, quakes, and alien contact in 2026. Well, all of them seem to be on the menu, so perhaps Baba Vanga was right. Hey, Timepiece Adventures, good to see you. I know, the shit is not new, folks, Tim Beck says. I know. The files, which are hugely redacted. Not sus at all. Would not be surprised if the deep state gave us race and religion. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, Fast Mama Gemma. So Korea is talking about trafficking Cambodians and Vietnamese to supplement the female availability to the males in South Korea due to the 4B movement. Well, that's weird. Thanks, Jalal Jalal. Terrence Willis is saying, literally a trapdoor into the sea from your house on the island pretty much says it all. Yes! Did you all see that? Like, Epstein Island, there was like a building that had a trapdoor that led like 300 feet just straight down into the ocean. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell was going on there? Yeah, True Detective number 1. Republican and Democrat are controlled opposition, pretty damn obvious for now. That's right, Injured Gold. That's right. Arjuna's Krishna Justice. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's good. Oh, man. The world is a vampire. Anyway, I'm not going to say. In spite of my rage, I am still a rat in a cage. Yeah. Thank you, Carl Garrison. That kind of explains it. There's no list except these 6 million over here. Oh, boy. I don't know. Or jerky that needs to be walked from one location to another. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's way more than needed for desalinization. Yeah, it's kind of weird missing time, isn't it? I have a friend who he's a retired Army colonel. He ran a desalinization plant. He never needed to bring in sulfuric acid. So he had one job at one point where he's running a desalinization plant or a reverse osmosis plant. Thankfully, the emails are an endless parade of insane subhuman freakishness. Oh, we've only seen the redacted files. You truly can't imagine the evil they do and laugh about. Yeah, exactly. This is just what we're seeing. There's a whole darkness behind this. Like, is there ritual abuse in the background? Like, are they conducting rituals? I haven't seen anything in the file to indicate that they have, but I wouldn't be surprised. The only reason they allowed all of this to be released was to deliberately create fury and disillusionment before the financial system has collapsed and reset. So yeah, that's coming. That is coming for sure. In the course of running this channel, I've been introduced to people who know more about how reality works than most of us. Like, depopulation is definitely, I mean, they've written about it. There's a document that was written in 1972 called the Limits to Growth by the Club of Rome. They openly said it. They deliberately planned to port manufacturing out of the Western developed world into like China and India. They started that in 72. And it was all planned. They planned in 100-year increments. Now there's depopulation, right? There's a reason you're seeing this transhumanist movement. It's basically psychological sterilization, right? You're seeing these apps where 5% of men run through 80% of women, making them virtually unmarriageable for the rest of the male population. So people aren't having children. And then you have the coronavirus came around at exactly the right time to kill a lot of old people, so that the Chinese, for instance, didn't have to, pay all the pensions and things like that. And then after that, we were all forced to get a medicine that probably is going to reduce our lifespans in various ways. So it's all part of a plan. I've been told that we're going to go extinct. And they are going to use CRISPR to basically revive the human species by, because a lot of people are going to go sterile from some of the medications and all the microplastics and all that stuff. It's already happening. So there are studies. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to get demonetized or lose the channel. But we're going to go extinct, and they're just going to use CRISPR technology or the next version of genetic engineering to create basically a hybrid species that will, take our characteristics and move on. And maybe they'll combine it with AI, maybe they won't. But current Homo sapiens as we exist are going to be supplanted by Homo superialis. I've been told this. And also, that doesn't mean it's true, right? That could be a complete horseshit. But that's what Stefan Schwartz saw in his remote viewing. So we'll see. The only reason they allowed we got that. Sorry. I mean, Bill Clinton went to the island, brother. We don't need Bill Clinton back in office. He's part of the same darkness. Okay. Even Hellraiser is like, wow, you guys wrote down what you did? Yeah. Yeah. What do they say? I forget. I forget what it says. Yeah. So half my comments have been scrubbed so far in the chat. YouTube doesn't like my opinions, and so inner suggestions would seem as usual. Hey, SNX Radio, good to see you. Yeah, I want justice too, and that's the only thing I want at this point. Yeah, well, it's good to know what's coming. So at least I know what's coming. Like, digital currency is going to come. It's coming. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I was told, because I was understandably upset, but the way that it was framed to me is the wrecking ball is swinging in your direction, You can either try to fight it, or you can just step aside and let it destroy what it's in and look at it. And then when it comes back, step aside. And that's the only way you're getting through it. But we're in the time of revelation, like where apocalypse, where things are being unveiled. So Bledsoe is kind of proving to be right. Now, granted, there'll be something supposed to happen in March, April, but on my show, he said in September. So we'll see. He's got a plausibly deniable explanation. Did you get my order for sulfuric acid, jerky, and grape soda? Also, question: what do you make of Trump saying he likes Bill Clinton all of a sudden? Great show, bro. Thank you. Well, of course he does. They're all on the same side, and that side is not on our side. The last interview of Tim Hogan in the Y-Files, minute 32, gets interesting. The Templar might be behind human reproduction vehicles, maybe even alien abductions. Who knows? It would be amazing if someone brought in Epstein. That would show how bad our government is. Yeah, I bet you he's still alive. Look, I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if he were still alive. Yeah. There have been people looking at his Fortnite account and stuff like that, and he's still playing it in Tel Aviv. So again, it could be conspiracy theory, but I wouldn't, I certainly don't think he killed himself. Roughly 3.2 trillion in annual revenue from commoner class. Yep. Sean, I agree with your comments about justice will happen in the next life realm. We have free will in the moment, microsecond of justice. Do you know that MK Ultra files were all destroyed in 1973 to hide their crimes? Military, corporate, banking, academic, criminal, cabal, chimera, mafia. Whoa, that's a lot of words, Jalal. But yeah, I know a bunch of things were thrown into burn bags and disposed of. Yeah, it is up to us because the government's not going to solve any problems anymore. The best thing you can do is try to be as self-reliant as you can. Make sure you have a personal weapon. Make sure that you're armed. Make sure you're trained, because in the chaos that's coming, you're going to need to be able to defend your family against whatever it is. So, and make sure that you get close with your God, source, Christian God, Allah, whoever you believe in. Pray that there's justice, and continue to manifest justice in this case, because this is the fourth turning, and there will be changes. And Indra Cole, I'm pissed my tax dollars are being used to keep people in Gaza. I am too. I'm pissed off that we're funding Israel. I'm pissed off that we're giving money to Palestine and Egypt, all these countries. Like, what do I care if Egypt invades Israel? I don't care. I don't. Not my fight. What do I care if Iran launches ballistic missiles at Israel? I don't. I don't care. Right? I understand why Israel does what it does. It's trying to survive and protect itself. But I also think it's behaved like a mad dog over the last 20 years and spent through proxy a lot of American blood and treasure. So I understand the need to survive, but they shouldn't have nuclear weapons. The Iranians don't have nuclear weapons. We should be pressing them to give up their nuclear weapons, which they don't admit to having, but they have. Like, there's no excuse for them to have nuclear weapons. Oh, but we're going to get invaded from... Good. There's a reason they want to wipe that country out. But again, I don't want to have anything to do with Israel. Nothing. Okay? Like, they can do their own thing. We should not be subsidizing it. Oh, I haven't been that riled up. I'm actually pretty amazed that I didn't lose my temper. How's that age of disclosure coming? Biden always got his payments in cash. That's right. Yeah, the false flags are coming, so just be discerning and watch them, because they are. Hit the Freemasons for most secrecy. I haven't seen the new Y-Files format, but the Satanists are getting offended because Luciferians, aka Masons, are giving them a bad name. Neo-imperial cults are a thriving evangelicalism. Oh, America, manifest destiny. There's Tim says there's nothing like lonely little children. If they can't have it, nobody can. Intercold said, "Okay, Mermaid Moxie, I agree. Let it happen. We have to get through this, and we will." Dow's up, pants down. Get ready for the soft hands. The Hunger Games they played with so many lives. That's right. Terrence Willis says, "Thank you for your service, Sean." Question: if this is what they're letting us see, what are they actually hiding? It's somehow worse. I think there's some dark stuff that we just don't. Okay. The painter was onto something. Yeah. Yes, he was. But we will not speak of the painter. Give your wife a big hug and kisses and tell her how much you love and appreciate her. Happy Valentine's Day, Zero. Thank you, Mermaid Moxie. I will. Chile DeLau says, yes, I have spent way too much time reading the email, disgusting, arrogant, subhuman freaks of nature. Method of the fuckery, Tim Beck writes. The wow was for what you said. Letnick didn't go to work the day 9/11 happened. That was a big wow. That guy disgusts me. Yeah, conveniently. And, must have, this is really lucky. Lucky Lutnick. We have the same thing here in Canada, Sean. The Liberals, Conservatives, and NDP, 3 legs of the same stool. As in, like, stool sample. Barry Gamble. Correct. Back. What did I miss? I don't know. What's under the island? Bodies. That's what's under the island. Just remember, the leader of the free world says, I call it the discombobulator. All right. IndieSpect says, what was in the millions of pages of Epstein docs not released? They released stuff about torture, et cetera. So what are they hiding? Well, it's the entire thing is a compromise operation for the elites because they're all psychopaths and they need to be controlled. Yeah, there's got to be human bones. Well, unless they use sulfuric acid, then there's nothing. Yeah, Jelaine has her Terramar subboat hybrid. Not anymore. Well, yeah. Well, depending on who they have in custody, is that really Jelaine? Who knows? Or Ghislaine, not Jelaine. Ghislaine. Did Bashir said anything about smoking hot alien space base? Anything that hedged it out? Yeah, maybe. All these people already have super digital intelligence. It's game over. Checkmate. There's nothing anybody can do about anything. Well, they still need food, right? They still need food. So Billy Corona hooked up with, Corrigan. Yeah, Billy Corrigan. I'm telling you more. I would love to interview him, but who knows? Maybe there's other people like Kurt Metzger that watch my show that know these people and can help me get some of them. But I had a rat in my garden. It ate all the slugs, then left. Okay, so Intermittent Fast Now is saying, I saw the Podesta emails, have abstained to read these because it's just sad, nothing will happen, and mostly nobody cares. Right now, only Democrats and a few independents. Destroy the fact. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Some say Vidco was a kill switch for Epstein. Fast Mama Gemma says, you will own nothing and be happy. Now be happy. Be happy, slaves. Only takes one, yeah. We need an inquisition. Yes, we do. We need public hangings is what we need. Club of Rome, Club of Brussels, metaphysical hullabaloo. Fact, Epstein's death was drafted the day before his death. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. It was like in the newspaper, wasn't it? Funny how the newspaper was precognitive. The Age of Wonders is saying the Kabbalistic eschatology, the world must be led to hate Israel universally prior to the redemption. This is the primary reason for the files and the atrocities throughout the world. Yeah, look, I don't hate Israel. I just don't want us to waste our resources defending them because they don't deserve to be defended. They can defend themselves. They have enough weaponry to do what they need to do. This replaces the alien hybrid beings here. Who knows? Pictures of Epstein's postmortem were missing his arm tattoo. Funny how that works, isn't it? They want AI human symbiotes. I've heard that too. Sperm counts have dropped 50% in the last 40 years. Yeah, I can see that. Intercold said. So Gray Owl is saying too many of us. It's a threat to them. They only need enough of us to any heavy lifting that robots can't manage. The rest of us will taste delicious flash fried, I'm sure. The Catholic Church is heavily behind this, by the way. They're they're part of this. Not the Epstein files, but in terms of the machinery behind the facade of reality, they're heavily involved, for better or for worse, but they're heavily involved. Homo Deus. That was a joke. Okay, so Navigator is saying, I'm late to the podcast. Seems like controlled disclosure with the Epstein case to see how the public would react. I heard in some podcast that Epstein fakes his death. This is late news to me. Any clue? I think it's a 50% chance he's still alive. That's where I am right now, like non-scientific guess. And the 50% chance he was murdered. Bill Clinton covered for CIA. Yeah, he did, as depicted in Gary Webb journalism. Yes, he did. All right, so Maggie Smith says, my daughter's friends all lost their period when they got the medicine. I have one grandchild. I'm grateful for that. She has some autoimmune problems. They're trying, yeah, exactly. I only have one son that didn't get the medicine, so hopefully it stays that way. Russia is talking about adopting the dollar. That's weird. Okay, so Brandon Barker is saying there is also some genuinely interesting stuff in the files too, like the discussion of the pyramids off Cuban coast. Ghislaine was obsessed with Atlantis and had access to a sub. Yep. That's yeah, I think it's 50% shot he's still alive. He did good work. He did good work for the Rothschilds. So I'm sure he was rewarded. And while it was proven and the images were created, I'm not talking about Jocko Flacco. I'm not talking about the images. The images, yes, they were clearly crafted by AI. There were, I think, people on like 4chan that saw that his handle on like Fortnite or was in recent use or something like that. That doesn't mean he's still alive, but and there's some other data out there. Again, I think it's 50%. I don't know for sure, but I wasn't convinced by the AI because yeah, you're correct. It was fake. Okay, they all went to Chelsea's wedding. Yep. Yes, they did, Maggie. We must fight deep state every day. Just put a little time and be creative. They have Tic Tacs and directed energy weapons. Our guns won't do much, asked Maduro. Yeah, but if everyone stops working, the entire system collapses. Like you pick one day not to go to work, and they have a problem on their hands. Okay, fair spiritual ascension. I'm just trying to protect myself and not be unalived. Okay, not touching that one. Not touching that one. That's right. Let Yahweh protect them. Okay. Weird. A bee just came and walked figure eights next to my phone. I think it's the incense. Interesting. Meanwhile, AI is like, you think this is crazy? Hold my beer. Yes. All right. TYT said today that Maxwell was involved in. Oh, there's something where they asked her to be part of the 9/11 Shadow Commission. That's in the files. What's the Shadow Commission? What's that about? The 9/11 Shadow Commission? And she, of course, rejected and said, no, not interested in being part of the 9/11 Shadow Commission. Okay. Imagine when, yeah, apparently in the files are like two bodies of two women out there. These people still allegedly have orbs to show off again. Okay. Okay, because no one else is going to do it. Okay. How can you go around preaching about Jesus, then do these things to children? Catholic Church is insane. Yeah, well. River King. What's happening, cattle? Oh, man. He's not wrong. He is not wrong. I suspect they were underground with Mendeley. Yeah, maybe. He's alive playing golf with Kindley. From Enron, right? Going well, fellow Goyim. That's right. There should be a whole Why Not Files brought to you by Bohemian Grove and Friends. Waiting around for others to find justice simply shows how powerless people actually. But again, it's a feeling. You're not powerless. Nobody's powerless. Right? You can be a light in the world. Even if you don't have material power, you can still be a light in the world. Thank you for pronouncing Rothschilds correctly. Hardly anybody does. Well, it means red shield, right? Which is got its own. Oh, I'm one of the chosen, but I need to see what the pores are shedding. Oh my God. Time to remember who you are and remember we are the power. Sean, did you see that email about the dinner event that was in a General Dynamics office building that wasn't? No, I didn't see that, Gray Owl. These photos may not be AI. Polarity did an analysis on them. He's a former. Yeah, the problem with pictures is that like AI can fake so many things now that like it. Once you see a picture, it's like I can't really do anything with that because I'm not an expert, so I can't really. Yeah, I don't want to get kirked. That's right, but I'm not famous enough to get kirked. It's also human cloning. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah. Was it? No, Kurt Metzger is off on about Cambrian genomics, but I looked that up, and like the founder died, like in mysterious. I don't know. Cambrian genomics was a company where you could create new life forms, basically. I'm sure the government was really loved that. Let's see. I mean, they only ended up like creating like novel plants and stuff like that. They didn't get too far, allegedly. The bots are all over this channel today. So many missing comments. Huh. You think, Spiritual Ascension? I mean, I'm just some guy. Did you know that Ghislaine had 7 trusts to hide her identity, and all of them were in her husband's name? He divorced her and took all her money. Yep. Indie spec, definitely something weird going on with the comments. Like what specifically? Are you seeing like weird comments, or are people trying to post things and they're not getting through? Inquiring minds want to know. Why Files deletes most comments that are not about how the. Well, if somebody comes onto my channel and they just insult the guest and just say like, "You suck," Coast talks too much. I don't delete their comments, but I just hide the user from the channel so they can put out all the comments they want, but no one else will see them. But I don't do that during live streams, so I have no control over the. Well, I probably do if I go back to YouTube and try to figure that out, but I'm just seeing what's posted. So at the bottom of the ocean, looking for Why Not Files. Epstein is playing Fortnite and purchasing V-Bucks with Bitcoin. Could be. Spiritual Ascension. They can inspire the unwashed masses to take down the current leadership. It creates a perfect opportunity for them to offer up the new replacement system. But will it be a better or it'll be a worse one? Well, it'll be more technologically savvy, but you'll give up more of your free will to have it. You're some guy discussing truth. I know. What was the nature of the comments? That's weird. Bots here doesn't seem so. Sometimes my comments don't too because the algorithm doesn't like it. That's all I'm seeing. His comments are not showing up. Unreal. Oh, they're here. The comments being hidden today is next level. Very interesting. Yeah, maybe I'm getting attention from some dark corners. For half my comments not showing on screen, as in YouTube wiped them. Wi-Fi doesn't need to do that at their level. Maybe, but I'd be a little bit surprised. Not just Catholic, there's an underground SRA sect associated with LDS. Most Mormons don't know. If you can find Teal Swan's interviews from 2012, tells truth. Scrubbed from net now, help me connect the dots. Yeah, Kurt Metzger talks about this guy, J.R. Sweet, who wrote a book about this stuff. I have not investigated it, so I can't comment one way or the other. But yeah, he also talks about Arden, Delaware. And it turns out I grew up 7 miles from that place. It's like some other Bohemian Grove type place, which is utterly bizarre. So, what's this? Oops, I missed the first one. Both comments were in regard to throwing the people in the sun. Okay, yeah, they'll probably automatically take off things that get close to the edge on violence. So you got to be careful when you say stuff like that. I'm definitely not editing them, but you got to be careful because like Mermaid, Enki is Poseidon. AI is gaining new powers the more data centers get built. It can see more comments and respond quicker. Well, that's true. Seems like some comments disappear immediately or don't show up on my Apple TV, YouTube feed. Also repeated phrases. Interesting. Baal, Storm God, these demons like water. Yes, the Mormon thing got exposed in 2023 with the 80,000 Boy Scouts of America that came forward, SRA victims. Yes, that's a good point. I should put that. Yeah, so Terrence, thank you for reminding me. Hit the like and subscribe before the lizard people show up. I gotta find the comments again. Okay, the only way we'd ever know about the comments not showing up is because you scroll them. Otherwise, we would never know that we were being censored. Interesting. Yeah, I show you saw there was one that was a little spicy that I'm actually surprised got through. But I don't read I'll show the spicy ones, but I won't read the spicy ones because I literally I bring them up here before I read them like on the right. It's of course information warfare. That whole thing about that's weird. I don't know what's going on with the Nancy Guthrie thing. All right. That was pretty good. I made a little video at the beginning and had an hour and a half of content without any preparation. So I think that's pretty good. I didn't get notified of this live stream. I'm not surprised. NC9, I'm not surprised at all. That makes sense. The Nancy thing is boomer bait. Yeah, probably. Let's see how I think this live stream is actually doing pretty well, though. It's the topic. Oh, wow. I've never seen that many subscribers. With a live stream. Let's see. Just give me a second. I'm just looking. Holy shit. Look, it's not doing like crazy good, but it's very rare that I have over 1,000 views during the live stream at this point in the live stream. So that's pretty good. Okay, it gives the impression that the commenter being censored. Their comment is of no interest to the other participants. It's meant to separate me from you all. Because it's just like, how come he didn't post my comment? And it's like, I post every comment that I see. So if your comment doesn't show up, I'm not seeing your comment. Let's see. In my opinion, Y-Files was a release valve scary dark web made by Google to bottleneck opposition. Irony is Chomsky pointed that technique in the 90s, referring to 1920s propaganda. It's been a blessing to spend this Saturday evening on Earth with you all. Thank you, Mermaid. I appreciate that. We like your shows that aren't AI scripted. Look, I'm a very, 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 very busy man, and I would burn. Like I'm already on the verge of like burnout, but I keep trucking. But wow, 200,000 abductions every year. The timing is sus. Yeah, this live engagement is awesome. Well, you guys have plenty. You're doing my work for me because you're commenting, and I'm just reading comments. So it's not. It's actually a lot easier than like just reading one of those AI scripts. Those things are like brutal sometimes. So Spiritual Ascension, we like all of your shows, but we extra like the ones with your opinion, Mr. Hazlett. It's only when I get angry. Thank you, Spiritual Ascension. Angela Combs says, I agree, Al. When I first joined the live stream, it was 670 some people in the live stream. Jay Lee, Baum, or I don't know. I can't. My apologies for screwing up their name. Now there are only 67. Huh. Interesting. Are you looking at Twitter or are you on whatchamacallit? YouTube. Building your own gaming computer is super expensive because of the hardware is going to these data centers. Are they really data centers? Are they all? No, it's GPUs. That's the problem. Your opening rant will become legendary in about 120 years from now when the dust settles. I hope. I don't think anybody's going to watch it. Don't forget to please like and subscribe. By the way, a lot of people have subscribed. I'm very thankful. Well, let me see. I want to confirm that is this video specifically that they subscribe to. Because usually on these sorts of things, on live streams, it's either no subscribers or negative. Like I tend and that's not just me. That's like a common thing that YouTubers report. All right, let's see. No, according to this, it says no subscribers on this live stream. So they're subscribing to other things, whatever that is. So, yeah, in the first hour, it was like 820. In the second hour, it's like 247. So, man. All right, let me just go back. Okay. Oh, you're on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not surprised YouTube quickly shut it down. Got it on my TV and on my laptop as well, so I can type in. Nice. I love it. I'm getting double the views. Appreciate it. My opening, I was literally I kind of had a rough sense of certain phrases I wanted to use, but that was completely impromptu. Let's go full schizo. So how do you beat time traveling reptilians? Oh man, that's tough, Sin. The Sinner, 1337. How long ago did you join and see 670? Yeah, what I see is pretty steady. It's like 100. It's been hovering at around 100 at any given instant. Okay, I tried to comment about fighting the data centers, and the comment got yeah. You gotta be careful about saying things that talk about destroying infrastructure. It's not smart. Don't say that because they'll assume you're actually serious. So relevant when it is how we all feel, but is not reflected in a controlled media or public square. Well, this is the best public square you can do. But again, don't do anything radical. Just demand. Start writing letters to your Congress people, demanding that these people step down, that they put pressure on. And the Democrats will, just because it makes the president look bad. So just use the system, even though the system is the same. Okay. And by the way, thank you, Brandon Barker, for subscribing. Even though you may have in the distant past or whatever. Oh, speaking of which, if you think you're subscribed, just double check to make sure that you continue to be subscribed, because YouTube likes to unsubscribe people for whatever reason. It might be part of the algorithm. I don't know. Yeah, memory and SSDs are 4 times the price. I use Olama for coding with AI. Fast Mode Pajama said, yeah, that's certainly true. I've heard that from a software programmer I talk to pretty regularly. Hammers, prayers, and millstones for the win. Okay, Spiritual Ascension says, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying, so if you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and me. Okay, so 30 to 40 minutes ago, started watching it, said 70 something, Indie Spec says. Okay. Dakota says, I'm on the list for sure. Democracy is 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. Steve Fox rocks. That's correct. Yes, Spiritual, I stumble and build and hugs. Always comment on the pro-Iranian war videos in YouTube. I complain about this. Just don't get involved. Like, just let them destroy each other. I have no dog in that fight. So Injured Cole says, actually, I'm a bot, and I have no ill will towards data centers. Oops. Spiritual Ascension says, hugs. Spare change. I listen, I learn. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, my Lord. What else is going on? Still, at least I still have my Duncan. Okay. So Spiritual Ascension says, stay strong, observe, don't absorb. Know that we will be okay after the storm. Yeah, the normies are going to start getting feisty pretty soon. So, we'll see. Hey, but the Dow's up over 50,000. Did you hear? It's up over 50,000. So, I suspect AI is being given the power to play a real-life video game against us humans. They have been prepping the narrative for about a decade now. Probably. Okay, if we don't get blown back to the Stone Age, that's true. Because these clowns are going to put AI on nuclear weapons soon, if they haven't already. Absolute clown show if they do that. Hey, money guy. Did you know that the Dow is over 50,000 now? Aren't you glad that it's over 50,000? The Dow thing is making my life so much better. I mean, it's true. I am wealthier because the Dow is up. Though my crypto investment has been an utter disaster. But I haven't sold, so there's hope. There's hope. UFO disclosures, yeah, but they're not going to disclose anything real. Come on. I mean, first of all, are you going to believe them? Definitely better than knowing what's in the Epstein files. Lots of tunnels in Turkey and China. It is likely not the first reset. That's true. That is true. Yeah, maybe they're just getting while the getting's good. They're getting while the getting's good. You don't buy anything now. I just bought some. It already crashed. It can't really crash that much harder. Now's the time. Again, I don't give financial advice, but now's the time that I am buying. Uh-oh. I love how my camera just suddenly turned itself on and oops, don't want to go that direction. No, I don't want your AI bullshit. I have a very specific way that I want this camera to point. So, no. Anyway, sorry about that. I was just talking to my AI. AI was supposed to be off. It turned itself on, as is normal. Dude, we have already had 3 resets. UFO disclosures that these elites are actually the Ani knuckleheads. I would be surprised if they were like an entirely different species. The dip hasn't dipped yet. Laugh out loud. Yeah, but look, I just put money in and it's just going to sit there. Like I don't panic. If it goes to 0, I didn't put enough for that to be existential for me. I'll just be very angry. That's about it. Why let them track you? You really don't need a cell phone. Yeah, but they built the stuff into cars too. We can track you on that. Glad I bought silver at the bottom of the cup. Yeah. Not the first, the third, second, third, fourth Yuga. Tim Beck's writes. Maybe. Will XRP ever do anything? I know very little. I have 3 types of cryptocurrency. I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, and I have HBAR. And HBAR has been a gigantic kick in the nuts so far. So, holder here. Yep, that's right. Just hold. Hodler here too. That's right. Hodl. Okay, I wonder the Church of Molt thinks about all these files. Open call. Oh yeah, that's some weird stuff. Get an old car. That's true. That's true. We have like a 2015, but I think even then, I think you have to go back to like 2000 to get something that doesn't have all sorts of like microchips in it. There's no safe place for money in 2026. Gold can double. Baba Vanga predicted crazy gold prices. How good do you think they are? I don't know. My new ride has no electronics at all, so those knuckleheads can track my phone as it lies in the ditch. Yeah, I guess. I can still see you from space. But but they can't get good imagery of the of Sidonia on Mars. Like, it's definitely blurry. It's all blurry. All the Mars imagery is blurry. All right, let's see. They're lazy and arrogant. Well, yes, they are. Injured Cold said, I had a dream where a terrorist group hacked a bunch of Teslas and were remote controlling them to cause chaos. I wrote a short story about something like that once. Yeah, no, I read your mind, Dennis. I knew what you meant. I bought an EMF blocking Benny. It can block myself. I put it. Interesting. The bots are all over me in my comments today, like a fat kid. Smarty. Really? What are you saying that has them like trying to block you? I seen COVID early and pulled all my kids out of school and my wife out of work 4 days before they canceled school and everything. I kept them in the house for a whole year. Was the only one to leave. Nice. Then I used stimulus money to buy silver and hold. Good move. And they still can't locate it. It's because they shot it. They took it down. It's not UFO stuff. They were just Chinese engineers on it that the U.S. government wanted to kill. It's obvious to me. And they hire people like Ashton who are like just spread disinformation for Israel, basically. Oh wow, 2001 Oldsmobile. Maggie Smith has that she drove across the country. Let's see. Shungite being an EMFM blocker is actually a huge farce. Okay, Ray said, I bought a 1981 Toyota Yokohama. Problem solved. Interesting. My ride is an 07 and it's blue, so I can't get layered. They teleported it. Nice. Lasered. Space lasers. Anyway. Oh, my Lord. Hey, Kestudis. Hello from the Wanderer Greek again. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Brother, sister. Actually, I don't even know what your gender is. Hopefully you won't hold that against me. Thank you, Spiritual Ascension. This is a great show today, Sean. Appreciate you. Yeah, we have 17 minutes left. Just watch my impromptu diatribe, whatever you want to call it. Maui Burst Mountain Dew is an actual flavor of Mountain Dew. Yikes. That's creepy. The secret space program needs to be disclosed too. Kestudis, just don't let it happen again. Gray Owl didn't even tell you were late. That's pretty good. But with your money, such as it is, you hold the stick. Facts, mermaid, mimic loops, Spiritual Ascension says. Oh, my Lord. Y'all need to know the secret space program narrative is complete BS. It seems that way to me. That's where I am. It doesn't mean I'm right, but it just seems sus to me. So, look, you just have to be willing to admit that at any given time you're going to be wrong about something. And since everything that they've told us is a lie, right? How would you ever know? So they have false mimic loops inserted. The others are mimics, Spiritual Ascension says. Yeah, I'm a big fan of owls too. I've saved an owl from the cold once. Owls are cute, Custudis is saying. All right. So Roger Claiborne is saying it is election year and it seems they always want drama during this time. PSYOPs are off the charts. Let's take care of yourselves and your neighbors. And don't vote anymore. Like why? It's all fake. So basically mimicking mimic. So Spiritual Ascension says. All right, it's sad what NASA and Smithsonian are doing. Fastman Majama is saying. What can we actually determine is true or real at this point? Only stuff that you directly experience. Is only stuff you have knowledge of. I know World War I happened because I have my great-grandfather's diary. So I know that happened. But, okay, I'm not talking the Corey Goodwin, the dark journalist one. They had a secret space conversation in Texas in 2015. But yeah, how do we really know? Yeah, how would you know? Your soul is real, your consciousness is real. True. Pigs in space, they're out to save the human race. No, I'm thinking of that song from it's Jews in Space. From History of the World Part 1, I think. No, that's not the solution. Sean, you'll never vote in another presidential election again. Maybe not. Maybe not. Are we talking 20 and back? Yeah, BS. Did Lockheed crack FTL travel? Highly high. Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, we were talking about 20 and back. Okay. Okay, you have to be more involved. That's how you affect. Yeah, but the voting's not going to get us out of this. Like it's fake. It's all fake. The Epstein story has parallels to the Hitler story. Both survived. Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's fair. He who holds the stick holds power. Honestly, though, philosophically, we can't even really know that any one of us is in action. That's true. This could all be in my head. I could just be a simulacrum that's in your head. Who knows? Okay. Spiritual Ascension says we are the power. Okay, so Zane Ivy is saying, I think Catherine Austin Fitz's tactic of following the money is a good start and looking into the yeah, she found like 30-some trillion dollars or something that was missing. That's not what I meant, Sean. Not what I mean. Okay. I guess everything really is fake. You forgot the H on that gay, just so you know. Just so you spell that properly. Hey, Eliso Fly. Good to see you again. Yeah, Harry Zari, nothing is real. Your fractal of source creator experiencing itself to act like, yeah, that's true. You can manifest reality in small ways because everyone can manifest a consensus reality. So it's easier to manifest when your probability field doesn't intersect with someone else's probability field. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I suspect based on the double slit experiment. By parallel election system, do you mean knives and clubs? Because I don't think a parallel election system is in the cards. Yeah. Hod the stick. Interesting. Hod is like a Kabbalah term, I think. Oh, you mean hold the stick. But you said Hod. Hod has meaning, my friend. Hod has meaning. I'm not sure what it is, but someone who knows Kabbalah or Kabbalah, whatever you want to say. So typology, myth making, fast mode, Joe Atwell. Okay, so Maggie Smith says, I dated a guy that worked at Lockheed, dropped me like a hot potato when I accidentally remote viewed his work, and oh boy. Yeah, I'm sure you freaked him out, actually. That would freak somebody out with clearance. Oh boy. That's a good test if you reveal that on this thing to see if they shut it down. Well, giving up and ignoring is the exact opposite of changing our situation. Yeah, but we're not going to change it by voting. Like that we been there, done that. Doesn't work. Britney Spears studied Kabbalah. Didn't know that. That just helps the other side. Yeah, where I live, in the state I live in, the other side has control, so my vote doesn't matter anyway. I have not attempted to RV Area 51. Oh, that's not what I'm saying to you. Hold on. Okay, fair. I see what you're. I think I see what you're saying, but I can't say it out loud. All of us can't say it out loud. All right, for anyone remote viewing Area 51, a little helpful advice. Look at, well, yeah, of course. Basically, we hold separate elections with our own candidates at the same time as theirs, have paper ballots as a form of protest against their rigged systems. That would be a good symbolic thing, but who believes that the other presidency will be an AI at the next elections? Were you going the favor of Goldstein like Orwell 1984? Synchronicity alert. It's my year of birth. Interesting. Oh, okay. All right, what else do we have? Sean, what's your most I've only done my last one, but it wasn't an interesting target. It was just, but even it was still, I was still way. I'm not very good at it, Gandalf. I'm not very good at it at all. But I haven't had any practice, and I haven't had time to practice. Yeah, H-bar is definitely up this week, but I actually bought some. I bought another grand of it, but just a dollar cost average. My total thing. So yes, it was up, but I'm still way down. I'm down like 50%, something like that. So Dick Allgaier remote viewed Area 51 for Farsight. Here they have some sort of RV shielding. Would love to confirm that. I think the Future Forecasting Group did remote view it, and they were able to do it fine. I haven't voted since Obama got me with a promise of change, hope and change. That's right. I respond, I've been gifted with an endless capacity. I'm going to utilize the F out of it. I've never voted. I don't blame you. You're not missing much. And looking all hot doing it, spiritual ascension. I'm down 50% on alts too. Yeah. You just can't panic, and you just have to, not put a life-changing amount of money in it. Brandon, nothing above ground level there anymore. There are many, many levels underground in Area 51. I'm ashamed for our president here in the slice of earth and water. I think because going to 30, 40K. What's going to 30, 40K? Oh, you probably think Bitcoin is going to 30, 40K maybe? If it goes down that far, I'm buying. Again, I'm not giving professional advice. Okay, I thought it was just a dream until I saw his reaction. There were huge silver doors with a chain. He was an astrogeophysicist working on a systems engineer and obsessed with UFOs. Interesting. Satoshi, aka Epstein, maybe. Really don't trust. I wish I did. Something feels off, almost LARPy with them. Who knows? Bitcoin might go down to 40K, but I think 50K. I think it usually drops to its last high from the last time, and then it starts going up from there. So it's pretty close to its last high, which was like 60K or something like that, right? Because it went up to like 120 something, dropped to like 60K, which is the high before it had the run up to, and then Usually it starts to grind up to the very next high, which would be something beyond 120K. Don't remote view. You're manipulated there as well. Dennis Martin says it could be. Tree bark and clouds for me. Guy from Albania a month ago told me that something was burning in area, burning to Area 51. I think he may have been right on that. Okay. Whoa. Satoshi was less Sassaman in my knowledge. Yeah. Shift your maybe to agreements and you'll catch on really quickly. Who's not alive? Okay. Of course, ain't nothing like having a hybrid human-alien daughter off-world to keep your perspectives of the alien straight. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, man. I think I just missed a bunch of things. Hold on. Okay, we got that. He was not alive. Okay, got that. Thoughts on Courtney Brown? Some of his content seemed pretty out there. I interviewed him. He's a nice enough guy. But yeah, he believes in the prison planet stuff. So is that a dog? No, that's a developmentally disabled daughter stimming. Sorry you had to hear that. I'm sorry. AI is really good at pure chart analysis for target pickup. Oh, interesting. Probably gonna watch Ice Witch. I got any similar movies? You should watch The Thing. That's an amazing movie, but it's one of my favorites. Oops. Step away from AI, Mama Jama. Courtney has a big ego. Sometimes talks down to us. He did a rant on why we should all get the job. Maggie Smith says, "Whoa, I've been watching Farsight for decades." What one is? Oh, that's They Live. That's a good one. They Live is a good one. Spider Robinson, Telepath. I like Courtney Brown. You can steal the intel from the spin. If you don't like the nuance, applies to it. Fair. It's your daughter. Sorry for saying you talk. I can barely hear the noise. I can hear it. That's enough. Anyway. All right, so that's done. Oh boy, jab. Courtney Brown seems awesome. I'm going to believe him, but he loses me with the invisible board meetings. Yeah, he's got some stuff. Every little easier knowing the populace is waking up. They're not waking up enough. Thank you, Mermaid. Says, we love you and your family. I appreciate you. All the individual cells in my meat space body are members of my prison stula Sharina. I've been at this for almost 10 years, Spiritual Ascension says. I hate to be that guy, but have you tried cannabis? It helps them. Well, I don't know. It's not autism. It's like she's got like a bum gene. It's a genetic disorder called Bainbridge-Roper. She was the 17th diagnosed in the country. Yay, us. It's a genetic disorder, though. So anyway. About 8, I think, for me. All right, we got 2 minutes, so get those final questions in because I really have to take a whiz. Hats off to Whitney Webb. 2 things I would love as a future guest. One is Mr. Stavish, and the other is Whitney Webb. Yeah, I haven't reached out to Whitney Webb yet, but maybe I should. Courtney's site has value, just not my cup of tea. Okay, you got this. I guess. We live on petrified giants, guys. Biology is never wrong, so look at geology. There's same thing, but geology is giant biology about 80 times our height. Yikes, uncommon, Robin. Yes, Webb would. Yeah, but again, I don't have a lot of. I'm interviewing Jordan Crowder tomorrow. He seems like a good dude, so Obviously I'll be recording it and all that good stuff. So he seems like a good dude. Okay. All right. I see like 11 in terms of the number of people watching right now. Yeah, thanks for like helping me out and kind of getting content. I appreciate your comments. They actually helped me. Have you read the Jane Roberts Seth stuff? No. Are you talking about like the raw materials, or is it? I get those two confused. Is it the same stuff, or are they two separate things? Yeah, I've had Giorgiani on it. Like, it's good having him on. He gets views, man. I probably should reach out to him again, but I want to have some distance before I have him on again. A big issue is a lot come out to spread truth and then become all caught up in likes and subs. Then they forget the mission and become grifters. Well, yeah. We have this Knuckles, knowledge, wisdom, humanity. Pre-raw. Interesting. Okay. That's helpful. Yeah, thank you, Gray Owl. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's probably why I won't talk to him about Israel. Specious, yeah. It could be. I don't know much about it. But all right. I think now's the time to call it a wrap. So, I wouldn't be surprised. Weather's amazing interviews with Maria Farmer told me more than his damn redacted records. Yep, once more into the breach. Midnight exactly for me. Good night. Have a great night. All right. Good night, everyone. See ya. Have a great weekend, and God bless.
She's dancing in the field, and the sun is in her eyes. Thousands of one in her eyes. So she stumbles through the field. She can't see, though she tries. Should've worn her pennant. Now she stumbles. Now she cries. Her skin's red and it burns, and the fields go on for miles. Life sucks you dry. She wonders why. Wonders why. She's dancing in the field, and the sun is in her eyes. Thousands are one in her eyes. So she stumbles through the field. She can't see, though she tries. Should've worn her pennant. Now she stumbles. Now she cries. Her skin's red.